We just told you moments ago that several state lawmakers are calling for an investigation into the possible impeachment of State Superintendent Ryan Walters. I spoke to a local representative who signed on to this very letter about why he did it. I'll have that exclusive interview in a couple of minutes, but first, let's take a look at that letter that 21 Republican lawmakers signed on to, and I learned more will likely sign on to it soon. Keep in mind, this is in addition to Democrats who have been calling for this committee to be formed for months. There has always been tension.
I don't dislike the man. I just don't dislike his ways.
Now, Oklahoma House Education Appropriations Chairman Republican Mark McBride released a letter Tuesday with more than 20 House Republicans asking for a committee to be formed to look into possible impeachable offenses committed by State Superintendent Ryan Walters. The allegations McBride and others believe Walters allegedly committed are as follows: denying lawmakers the legal right to sit in on State Board of Education executive sessions, despite clear instructions from the Attorney General; refusing to respond to subpoenas for documents asked for by the Senate Education Committee; failure to use school security dollars as appropriated; failure to disclose how he is using taxpayer dollars for travel across the country for media appearances; failure to comply with Oklahoma's open records laws on multiple occasions; and failure to use state funds as appropriated to put emergency inhalers in public schools. The committee would put together a formal report that the entire House would consider when it comes to possibly impeaching Walters and removing him from office.
It's time that we take the next step and look at this a little broader maybe. But as far as them saying investigate, there is a lot of stuff going on. They just aren't privy to it.
Walters spoke to Fox 23's news partner KOCO Tuesday, shortly after the letter became public.
And what we've seen are a group of moderate Republicans have partnered with Democrats. These are folks that want pornography in your kid's school. These are folks that don't want the Bible in school. They have been attacking Christianity. These are folks that do whatever the teachers' unions tell them to.
Southeastern Oklahoma Republican State Representative J.J. Humphrey has been a supporter of Walters. He confirmed some of his colleagues have been looking into ways to impeach Walters, but Humphrey says he himself has seen no criminal wrongdoing and will not sign on.
You know, I can name you a lot more impeachable offenses for the prior administration. I mean, I could show you and document many more things by the prior administration, and nobody ever said a word about them. And so I find it shocking that there would be any kind of conversation about impeaching.
He says the issue is better handled at the ballot box 2 years from now. But he is open to hearing what a committee finds before he says a hard yes or no. One of the Eastern Oklahoma signees to the letter is Assistant Majority Floor Leader Republican Josh West.
I wish him success, but get to work.
West says he's tired of hearing about drag queens and woke and trans kids and Joe Biden. And he's ready for Walters to get off of the cable news shows and get back into his office and get to work. At the very least, he signed the letter to say he's sick of the games being played on the taxpayers' dime.
You know, I go to church with many of the teachers in my school system, and they're good people, they're hardworking people. And so I think you throw when you start throwing around these words that he does with, you know, it's just part of this woke teachers, this liberal teacher establishment. That's crap. I mean, my teachers are just good old, you know, rural people, and you can't lump everybody in a basket. There's bad apples in any profession.
In response to Walters accusing anyone who signs on to the letter of being pro-porn and anti-Christian, West says Oklahoma is sick and tired of Walters blaming everyone but himself for his poor job performance for the last year and a half.
With McBride, his request to just have an investigation, I think that's fine. It should be for anybody. I mean, like I said, there's no members, agency heads, it doesn't matter. It's just not Ryan. And so I think that it's fine what McBride's trying to do.
Now, when it comes to State Representative Republican Josh West, who you just heard from, he's put on the uniform. He's fought for this country. He is as conservative as it gets. So for him to sign on to a letter like this one, it is a big deal, and it signals many of the frustrations that have been bubbling up with Walters among state Republican lawmakers. We're going to run more of his interview, full responses to my questions for you to see, so you can just see how big of a deal this has become and hear him out in his own words. It's only on Fox 23.